And we are live with this YouTube jive. Cutting out my voice every time they get ready. The chat ain't synced up to what people are saying in real time.
Let me be like a tree,
Have mercy.
planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth its fruit in its season.
But yet we still stand. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father.
Shall not wither, and whatever I do shall prosper.
Speak that.
Let me be like a tree, planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth its fruit in its season. Let me be like a tree whose leaf shall not wither, and whatever I do shall prosper. Happy is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the pathway of sinners, sits in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. Let me be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth its fruit in its season. Let me be like a tree whose leaf shall not wither, and whatever I do shall prosper. Happy is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the pathway of sinners, or sits in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. Let me be like a tree. Let me be like a tree, planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth its fruit in its season. Let me be like a tree whose leaf shall not wither, and whatever I do shall prosper. I wanna be like a tree, planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth its fruit in its season. Oh, let me be like a tree whose leaf shall not wither. You won't wither because you're by the river. Whatever I do shall prosper. Meditate on the word. Whatever I do shall prosper. Prosper. Whatever I do shall prosper.
Speak that. Hello, family. We got Heavenly in the place to be. Kanga Kong. Vanette G. Big nephew Ronell. Brother Minister V. Nonsense is the place to be. At the number one spot. Jeremiah Isaiah, peace and blessings. I hope you can make it to Dearborn, at least by the night. I hope you can make it to Dearborn. I want to see the young men of Zion show up. Peace and blessings, Sister Erica. I know it's a Sunday night. Some folks is tucked in tight. Although it's a Sunday night and you may be tucked in tight, I appreciate if you was able to make it by. And if you're just going to drop in and say hi, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. And one thing for certain, two things for sure. Tonight, I am going to get you in and out of this door. So quick, so fast. I want to thank the folks who have responded and follow the instructions. Send me an email so you can get the details, so you know everything you need to know if your intention is to go to a 7-7 heavyweight jamboree. And again, you can see those emails here. The daytime barbecue and nighttime hermetic theater. We will be together from roughly for about 12 hours, from roughly 11 to 11. The barbecue set to start at noon. Peace and blessings, Big Nephew Drew. Now, for the, oh my goodness, I'm sorry you dreamed about them puppets. I'm so sorry to hear about that. Peace and blessings, Cupcake 701. Somebody dreamt about them dang old puppets. Heaven Lee dreamt about them puppets. Thanks to everybody who joined the last night's show. We've got much more of that investigation to go. Please believe me. Please believe me. We've got much more of that to go. But yeah, brothers, brother ministers, young men of Zion, mighty men of valor, men of war, ministers, where you guys at? If you are going to come through, please do email me and just let me know so I can count you among the coming. We will be having a performance there and two presentations aside from my presentation. It's set to be hot, and I want y'all to know right now. Wait a minute. I want y'all to know right now, I'm sweating like a stuck hog. I'm sweating like a runaway slave. And we talking about doing a barbecue, and they said it's supposed to be 92. So Lord have mercy on my soul. Feel like Christopher Williams. Promises, promises you can't keep. I'm gonna keep it though. I'm gonna keep it though. I'm gonna hurry up and have that food done. By the time I get there, we can wrap it up and go on to the hotel where it's cool and air conditioned. Amen. All right, we can give folks a couple more minutes before we get started tonight. Y'all know it don't take me long to read, right? You know I can do one of the readings in under an hour. So for all intents and purposes, y'all ain't gonna be here but 2 hours max tonight, okay? Yeah, and Brother V, moving weight, Brother Ronell, and Drew, I believe, are the 4 brothers from Chi-Town that was intending to come. We're gonna wrap tomorrow and make sure that everything is as smooth as a baby's bun, so that y'all can get here and get back without issues. And I want to do everything I can. Me and Big Nephew Ronell, Brother Mr. Ronell, we already talked about it, a little taste. But I'd like to get everybody's input on what I propose. To get y'all here. Okay? And there's Rihanna. B in the place to be. Rod Kenny, Scoville 7. Big Nephew Drew, Fufu, Secret Service. Folks is coming in. We can give them another minute or two. case you didn't know, tonight's readings are He Came to Set the Captives Free and Rick James, Glow. We can give folks a few more minutes to get in the dough. If you've not made your intentions known to come to 7-7, then you don't have information. If you want that information, send me an email. And let me know. And I will send you all the information that you need to know. How to get to the park and all of that. And yes, we will be helping folks get from the event to their hotels and from the park to the event, of course. I'm going to at least have a van at this point. I'll at least have a van. Sister Candace, thank you for that. Working on a bus. Anybody got their CDLs? Judge Lynn Bond in the house. Peace and blessings to you. And Cookie Cruncher too. Welcome. I hate the way this chat. I hate the way the chat is out of sync when you watch it back. Doesn't that suck? That's whack. Don't update your YouTube if you've not done so. It's a trap. Brother Minister Darian in the house. Peace and blessings. Peace to Sister Natasha. And peace, Sister Sadie Mae. Mama Sadie, peace and blessings. Good to see you. Rod Kinney's in the house. And Sister Minister Tanya is in the house. Now, we should only expect a small task force to show up tonight. We've got about 41 folks in the house. Rothy Dunnigan, peace and blessings. Good to see you here. Yes, she says a lot of information in the Sesame Street study. We'll listen to it again when I get time. Yes, and we have much more to go over, which we will do. Not next Saturday, because next Saturday, folks will be here for the Unplug 'em heavyweight jam for the great I Am, the family reunion here for the family here. Folks, some folks have been here since day one. And so we're going to get together this upcoming Saturday in Dearborn at the Edwards Convention Center. And so the Saturday after that, we will pick up with our further investigation of Jim Henson and his creations. And you guys' comments on last night's show were phenomenal. I was just about proud. Just about. No, but y'all did as asked, and you really helped with the investigation, with the Jim investigation that we were doing. And I had to jot down some notes, and this was only about halfway through after I just kept seeing too many great comments and add-ons from you guys. I said, well, I've got to start jotting these down. So I've got to jot down more than these. I need to slow that down. And even put the names with them. I thought I was going to remember. Should have known better than that. But folks gave some great ones. Not to mention, last night's MVP would have to be Damali with that amazing half-quarter shot talking about the heads of Bert and Ernie representing sex symbols. The male being Bert's head shape and the female being Ernie's. And it was just so much to glean last night. You guys really came through there. Like, for instance, okay, let me show you some. I know that's what you're saying. I just want to slow down the speed a little bit. That was much too fast. Okay, that's still fast, but it's not as bad. Okay. Okay. All right now. Okay, folks talked about everything from the Elmo puppeteer getting busted to Alistair Cookie, which we missed last night. That's Maurice. Peace and blessings to you. Said, did I see your comment on the Muppets and possible connection to the drug DMT? Yes. Which was addressed when we stressed that we knew that Jim Henson was seeing these beings somehow. We don't know if it was DMT. You know, people don't have to use DMT. There's salvia. There's, Carlos Castaneda's recommendations, all of those different things, peyote and all that different type of stuff. People see beings, but we wanted to get to the bottom line, and the bottom line was certainly that he had seen these things in the supernatural realm, well, from the supernatural realm, and he brought them here into this physical realm. So sure, it may have been DMT. It may have been he might have been smoking some of that wacky tobacco and came up with it. Who knows? When you're demonically infused and connected, or when you're demonically selected, you will receive visions and dreams in Jesus' name. Kega Khan says, at Theo, I know why all those evil things appeared in that show. When you don't have the Holy Spirit in you, then by default, you and your actions are influenced by evil spirits, certainly. I mean, the picture that he took at graduation time showed me. I mean, a lot of folks took graduation picture with the Masonic chin on hand pose, but everything else after that told us that he was certainly a Brotherhood member. And so he wasn't just a man with talent, just randomly getting jobs. He was plugged in from the very beginning. His father was a government employee, a high-ranking government employee at that. So he plugged his son in. But folks had pointed out so many great things. The Alistair Cookie. We're going to really go in on this. That this is the rabbit hole. This is the branch that's going to sprawl us out to where we need to be, high in the sky with this here. Folks pointed out that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That funky song was the Pointer Sisters. I didn't know that. I wasn't into reading the critics when I was a little guy. Interestingly enough, the count represents peace and blessing to you, Kobe. And I knew that was you, Kobe, of course. It said Kobe Brewster in the email. But thank you so much for looking out for your sister like that. That's 1,000. I appreciate that. But we looked at the first vampire good guy. Peace and blessing to you, Sister Erica. We talk about the Twilight movies and the introduction of vampires as good guys, but we missed it. Peace and blessings, Seven Spirits. We've been missed it because the first vampire good guy was the Count. Cookie Cruncher says Jim Henson's son, his face and eyes told the truth. It was a creepy thing, his dad and Kermit, but I loved the show. Of course, we didn't know, when I was a child. Sister B. Alexander, I do remember, had said this. Prince X had said that one. Alistair Cookie, I don't remember. A lot of y'all had reacted to that. I don't remember who caught that first. Big Sister B said that one of the songs that they had, one of the alphabet songs, one of the songs used to help children with learning their spelling, because you have to know your letters to be able to properly spell. So there was one particular running skit called Capital I in the Sky. Then, of course, we didn't really go down the rabbit holes exploring the two Gordons. Duality there in two different Gordons. We were kids. We noticed the difference. I guess they say, hey, all y'all look alike, so most folks won't notice. But also the connection there with Holly Robinson. Was Holly Robinson one of the children on the show? And the children on the show, like her or Albie Sure and the other folks people named, were they groomed through that show? Then we begin to look at other shows, and wonder about them. But as we look at the vampire and the Alistair Cookie, and just too many things are pointing toward an occult intention in the show. And then if you think about an occult intention, whenever you see grown men doing things to attract or lure or entertain children, primarily, in Hollywood, you can count on the fact that this is some Pizzagate type action. Just far before its time, and also hidden under the cloak of public approval and legendary status. What keeps Disney from being charged by villagers with forks and burning stakes. So we have a lot of things to look at. Somebody had made a comparison between Miss Piggy and Nikki Parker. And again, we're not trying to talk about folks who got a little extra weight on them, but we're talking about the overbearing spirit of Jezebel personified in a pig. And it's interesting that the Messiah cast out spirits into the pig. And Nikki Parker certainly representing that same spirit, chasing down a man, and all of that, being overbearing and all of that, those things that Monique is typecast to be able to do. Was Ernie in bathtub? Was Ernie, excuse me, Ernie in the bathtub part of a ritual? Peace and blessings to you, Sister Vinette. I see your comment. I'm looking up and I'm looking down. But the chat is steady going, so I'm gonna miss some. I'm sorry about that, y'all, in advance. Uh, then the question here was very, very key and pointed. Folks wanted to know. I wanted to know, what is Gonzo? Folks said the official word was that he was a freak, and I do believe that I heard something to that effect, that he's not officially an owl or a vulture. However, we can say that perhaps he was meant to represent one, as the vultures and the buzzards pick and eat off the dead. hmm And the owls represent night, unclean and abominable night demon. That's what they represent. They represent Lilith. Lilith was shown with her companions as spirits in the form of owls. And then is that a nod to Hunter Thompson, who was the first person that, or rather, who popularized the term gonzo journalism, which was also used in pop culture in pornography, and the term gonzo porn was also born. Interestingly enough, that both of these things have to do with ritual abuse. Little do people know. And we can connect it all to Hunter Thompson, the person who probably coined the term gonzo or made it popular because of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. But Hunter Thompson, a good friend of Johnny Depp, if you look up Hunter Thompson and Johnny Depp on YouTube, you'll find some good research done on that, and a couple of documentaries. But Hunter Thompson is said to have been a person who bought and participated in snuff films and pedophile films and things of that nature. And he had a very creepy interview with David Letterman where he almost spilled the beans. You can tell that he is a man. He was a man, because now he's dead. And Johnny Depp shot his ashes out of a cannon. But you can tell that he was not all there. He was out of his mind. So, places to go there. Gonzo and chickens. The strange obsession that he had with chickens. Chickens being used in voodoo, and then the strange obsession that black folks have with being associated with chicken and loving chicken. Now, chickens are cheap and they're easy to raise and farm, and that's probably where that slander came from. So folks that didn't have much money, black and white, was probably raising a lot of chickens. But this idea of chicken being connected to certain things, I think, is where we would have to go, and we'd have to pull those strings to really figure out what is this with gonzo and chickens. It's probably more along the line of some sort of voodoo connection. The yard bird, right on, Sister Cookie. And gonzo falls for big bird. I forgot who said it originally, but I know Sister Lorraine confirmed it. She said it because she said that she had it on video. So there's proof positive that there's some strangeness. But then somebody explained it as, of course, the backstory, or the way they would explain that away, is by saying that, of course, Gonzo would fall for Big Bird. He loves chickens. And all chickens are big and yellow, right? Big Bird does not resemble a chicken in any way, shape, or form any more than he resembles a canary. He looks like a mutation. He looks like Tweety Bird when Tweety Bird would take the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde potion. Big Bird looks like Tweety Bird after he takes the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde potion and turns into a monster and then starts chasing Sylvester. Didn't you always want to get Sylvester to eat Tweety? I saw folks saying that. I was worse than that. I wanted the Road Runner to get got by Wile E. Coyote. Yes, I really did. I wanted Mighty Mouse to lose. I couldn't stand Mighty Mouse. I wanted him to lose sometimes. I wanted Gargamel to catch him a couple Smurfs, barbecue him, roast him. See what it's like if he, fry a couple up with a little Drake's batter on it. Again, it didn't seem fair to me. And then it began to get predictable. And by the time you're about 9 years old, some folks earlier than that, By the time you're about 7 years old, you can start to see a pattern in these things. Oh man, this is fake, and then that's when you start to lose interest in that. Yep. Anyway, so and then we was talking about the word sesame, which again, we're going to do proper etymological breakdowns. We're going to do proper lookups. We're going to find out what lodge Jim Henson was a part of. We're going to find out more about his father and his father's occupation, how high ranking was he in the Department of Agriculture, and we're going to find those basic things out. Last night we jumped out the window and we did the occult thing first. We flew first, okay? Like Neo, we learned how to jump from building to building before we got the rest of our basic fundamental skills together. So now we're going to look at the things that you would look at to have a serious investigation and to be able to put together a documentary. These are the steps that I go through. So, but first I like to jump out the window. That's how I do it. I like to see the supernatural things first. That's why I said I would look at something like a Dateline or a Nightline, and I see folks heard me say that because when you watch Dateline or Nightline, I can't stand people bite my ideas and just act like I don't exist. But it's okay. It's okay. But when you use those programs or a BBC report, they're going to lace that, or CNN, a CNN special report. They're going to lace that with Masonic doublespeak. They're going to lace that with occult meanings, and they're going to insert the clips and whatnot that are also subliminal, like we saw when they start singing, "Oh, that old black magic got me in a spell." And then when they showed the David Bowie clip, he was singing about magic. And they just happened to pick two different clips from two different parts of the documentary, and they both were highlighting songs about magic being aimed at children. So that's why I like to look at those things. Not because I think that the mainstream media is telling the truth or they're better. No, I know they lie. So I'd rather see that than to see something made by righteous brother Al from down the street, who hey, he's got final cut. He can really make a good documentary. He has the proper editing tools, and he knows his stuff. But he's going to give me straight facts. He's not going to give me any of those clues. I like the clues. I was a child that liked the Rubik's Cube and puzzles and things of that nature. I get bored if it's too straight laced. So that's how I always get started. I jump out the window first. Then I find the basics to make my case sound less spacey. That's how I do it. Okay, so we looked at sesame. So we're going to properly do the right thing and break down the word. But what folks had came up with, somebody said, I remember, Allah peanut butter sandwich, right? Allah peanut butter sandwich. So here's a Shriner connection, quite possibly, with the use of the word sesame, open sesame. Somebody was saying, obviously, but we missed it last night. That's to open up portals and doorways. Open sesame. What kind of portals and doorways? Doorways and portals to places that you're not supposed to go. Also symbolic of the all-seeing eye of the swirl that's used in pedophilia, which is to represent the anus. So someone added on, was it Kangakoon? It said something about how do you get on Sesame Street? You sleep with Kermit. YouTube it or something to that effect. We're going to look at that. Somebody had noticed that Big Bird was eternally 6. And folks was adding on all of these various things here. Big Bird was eternally 6. 6, that is. 6. He was a hybrid. He was big and beautiful and confused. He was the ibis or Thoth or Tehuti. Remember, they're talking about spelling, and there's lots of spelling and teaching and learning and even the arts being highlighted on Sesame Street. And Big Bird is the lead character on Sesame Street. And so Big Bird represents the ibis or Thoth, who is a representation of Lucifer, who brought mankind knowledge or fire or the light as the light bearer, which is also um, which is also expressed in the Prometheus myth. You know, the Prometheus myth being first because that's Greek, and then the Lucifer, that's Latin, that's Rome, and that came behind it. But one came from the other. They're one and the same, and you can say that they both bit off the originators of the game, the Egyptian Babylonian societies who talked about Thoth, or this bird who was a bringer and giver of knowledge, one of the unclean birds represented and mentioned in the book of Revelations, and also symbolized by the South American or by the by the South American and Native American entity known as Quetzalcoatl. And so you have various civilizations represented here, but one idea still at the end of the day: Lucifer, the unclean bird, the bird of knowledge, unclean bird of revelation. And then someone had brought up the fact of yellow. We was talking about black and yellow, black and yellow. No, we were just talking about yellow. And yellow, in having lots of meanings in secret society symbolism. Uh, of course, the sun being the most obvious and common one, but they will have one symbol that has many different meanings. Another meaning for yellow, numerologically, is 13. And 13, as I even showed in the spelling spell videos from long ago, if you push the 1 right up next to the 3, you will get a B. So B is also used to represent 13, and B's are seen in a child's mind, and in most cases, when they're represented on TV, as yellow. Now, the canary. One person had broke it down really good in the actual comments under yesterday's video, but we neglected to add this part of the canary as the caged bird. A canary is a particular bird that people keep. Then it was lovely Manna who brought to our attention that it was also a sacrificial bird. And I forget who it was exactly that noticed Big Bird. I think it was Kobe. It was Kobe. It was Kobe who noticed that Big Bird was doing a duality thing times 2, in that he was a big ambiguous thing, and you didn't know if he was a big old queen or king or what. But not only was he causing confusion by being this big bird that you can't tell if it's male or female, he got on more eyeshadow than a California raisin. And then he turns around for the memorial for Jim Henson and he sings "It's Not Easy Being Green." And he's yellow as a yield sign. And then we heard that Kermit got his name. Yes. Then we heard that Kermit got his name. Well, we discerned that Kermit must have got his name from one of the colleagues of Jim Henson who was named Kermit, one of the puppeteers. But I thought it was interesting that Kermit was like Kemet. And then as I wrote that down myself, then as I watched, as I looked at y'all comments on the video, I saw someone had made the same observation or similar observation. So, because, Kemet, the magic, the magic that they want y'all to take back comes from Kemet. Wakanda forever. Take the magic back. If you dare. You'll be a new food. And in a world of trouble. All right. Whew. Okay. So, like I said, we were just going to wrap a little taste on this one and then come right out and go right to our reading. So, again, I thank everybody who participated in last night's gym investigation as we painfully combed through Sesame Street and some of the other productions by Jim Henson. And we came up with quite a bit. Peace and blessings to you, Brother Jeffrey Jones. He relates Kermit to Kismet, and that's Jewish like luck or something, right? Yiddish luck or fortune, right? We have 71 folks watching. 45 have hit that like. I appreciate folks who are able to do so. If you can, hit that like button. Please give that like a strike. Peace and blessings. Chris Crutchfield says Gonzo's nose and eyes, when inverted, super phallic. I do agree, Brother Chris. I do agree. Significant Runnell says, so the street in Sesame is magic because demonic puppets roam, live there amongst humans. Yes. All like it's a plane. It's another plane or another dimension, not a street. It's called a Sesame Street, but it exists nowhere in the world. So except behind the camera. But to millions of kids it does exist. Oh, to millions of kids, it does exist, and to millions of adults, subconsciously, they believe it exists. So this is a realm. This is the realm where these beings are able to interact with the men who conjure them and the children who are targeted by them. Peace and blessings, Sister Jazz. Welcome, family. And Brother Ruben, peace and blessings to you, Brother Mister. Good to see you in the house. Mm-hmm. What's going on here? What they said, gospel tomatoes. This is gospel tornadoes. I know I'm getting old. Or a tired one. Nisa Love, peace and blessings to you. I'm glad you made it too. But we're not gonna do too much heavy. We were just kind of recapping last night. And I want to thank you too, Brother Ruben, because I noted your tone from last night's show. And you were keeping us on the you were keeping the proper moral compass like a minister should of, well, we don't know. And I did not interject that like I should have throughout our investigation last night. That's another proper thing that you want to do if you're going to make a documentary or two. You want to be sure to, when you bring up those jump out the window type of points, like we said, or when you talk about the supernatural aspects of something, or when you're talking about the occult or the esoteric meanings behind something, you have to make those disclaimers because there are believers who have a heart for sinners like they should, and they don't forget like we do, and they remember, well, hey, these are sinners too. And to your question, the question you asked, is it everybody in Hollywood? Certainly it's not. A bus just a bus just arrived in LA. By the way, a bus just arrived, and it's 4 or 5 people getting off that bus who believe that they can make their dreams come true while they're out there in Hollywood. And none of them are demonic yet. It's the system. The system will ensure that the people who remain inside of the Hollywood machine are part of this demonic army. That's what it is. We have relatives and loved ones. I'll tell you, my good buddy was a DJ for the slum village, uh, and he didn't take no oath, blah blah blah. This, then the third, but how famous are you when you were the no diss and no slight, you know, if my brother's listening tonight. But my point is, that's not the level of fame that we're talking about. When we're talking about a legendary individual like a Jim Henson, how could he have as much impact as he had over pop culture, and not to mention over children, if he was not plugged in? And again, that's just analogous. Yes, people are going to Atlanta to make it. They're going to New York to make it. I know y'all get my point. My point is, when they say Hollywood, we're talking about the entertainment industry. So is everybody in the entertainment industry? No, people have got off the bus in Atlanta and in New York to go to Broadway and everything, and they have nothing but good intentions. They was raised up as Christians. But that system will not allow for them to remain that way and play within it on high levels. You can lightweight jam, but you won't play on the highest levels unless you're down with the highest devils. And that's the sad fact. Peace and blessings, Chris. Scoville 7 says, I'm always curious to know if some bands and performers slip through the cracks. I used to, We always want to root somebody on. We wanted to think Tupac was that guy that slipped through the cracks. We wanted to think Michael Jackson was that guy that slipped through the cracks. But see, this is the thing. The Lord wouldn't let you play the devil's game and get dirty on the levels you have to get dirty on to find out the heavy weight secrets of Luciferianism, just to infiltrate and come back and bring some information. The Lord would not, uh, uh, it's not his way to have you compromise your soul in that way. So if it is, if that ever happens, and not to say it could never happen, but we can't underestimate the adversary. He's been along, he's been around a long time, and he is very thorough with his background checks are worse than FedEx. Please believe me. If you're going to be a part of his team, he's going to make sure that your hands are not clean. He's going to make sure that you are impure. He's going to make sure that you can be tempted and turned. He's going to make sure that you have so much pride about your art that you will compromise some very sacred things just to get it out there. That's what's up. Brother Jonathan G., I know that the peace and blessings to thee. I know that the lion ring, lion head ring is used among the Shriners. Okay, Kobe says, Brother Theo, how would you expose a superhero or comic book? Do you look up the creator or creators of the comics, the character itself? If you look at the Black Panther expose was probably the a good example to see how I do it or how I would do it in real application. But what I can tell you is, yes, all of those things would be things I would definitely look up. But, you know, again, the occult side of things is always what helps me build my case the best. So I would look at the superhero like the songwriter Secret. And I would say, okay, they say Black Panther is this, that, and the third. I said, but what is it in the eyes of the occult? Oh, he's a black cat. Black cats affiliated with witchcraft. So that's how I begin to build my case. That's how I start tumbling down the stairs, and landed on my feet. All praise to the true and living for allowing for that to happen. So, but yeah, that's yes, all the basics, the comic book creators, blah blah blah. I will jot those things down and come back to that because you have to have researched that to have your documentary taken seriously. But to have your documentary crack people's heads, you got to have that extra stuff. Like saying that Black Panther, oh yeah, that's Black Cat. It's another way to associate black people with bad luck and blah blah. You see what I'm saying? So I start with the occult. You're welcome, Brother Jonathan G. The Peculiar Christian says the Black Panthers introduced witchcraft to the black masses. Right on. Peace and blessings to you. King Kong says lower level you can, but you can't run with the big dogs if you have restraints on you. Restraints being a good thing. Moral conviction. Right on. So yeah, you can have smaller level jobs in the entertainment industry. But who wants those? Chris Crutchfield says, unplug them, you are 3,000% right. I live and work in LA as a director, and I can definitely vouch for what you're saying. If people really knew what goes on here. Sigh. Right on, Sister Damani say heavyweight stuff. Right on. Anytime, Brother Kobe. And I'll just tell you this too, Kobe. Every superhero I've ever looked at, we could do that with. Superman, what's the occult meaning? God, man is God. We can take every one. Okay, bat, well, that's right there with the black cat. Again, these are things used during Halloween. The bat is, always symbolized with darkness. And interestingly enough, a lot of people say it's a hybrid of the fallen, blah, 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 So you look at the Hulk. What does the Hulk mean occult-wise, esoterically? That's the reptilian nature of man taking him over to where he can't control himself. rage, the spirit of rage, right? So that's how we do that. Seeing each and every one. Wonder Woman, Isis, okay, okay. Queen Mother Goddess, the whole 9 yards. Right on. And certainly, right. And that would be the first thing with superhero, which, Brother Kobe we've said that several times, but excellent for adding it on right here, right now, Rod Kenny. Hero, what does it mean? Superhero. They're all and Heru was worshipped, and superheroes are worshipped. The Batman versus Superman movie made a good did a good job of summarizing that whole idea of worship of a superhero or worship of a superman or a uberman. Feel me? D-Boy Cartier, what up? Are you going to be with us on the 7th? I need some help. Right on. Okay, now, peace and blessings, Christy Joy. Right on, Cookie Cruncher. Men of renown. It represents the men of renown, and it shows and proves that their legends are carried on, and their legends are being passed on to children through comic books, just like the legends and exploits of Nephilim, or at the very least, the look and image of Nephilim and the ways of the Nephilim are passed on to smaller children than usually read comic books through Sesame Street and the Muppets and all of its derivatives. So it's interesting, both ways to introduce children to these monsters or these false gods or these false idols of old. Right on, Sister Damali. Half man, half amazing. Half man, half something else. And Superman, too, by the way, he comes from outer space, don't he? So he represents an alien, and we know aliens represent the demons. Right? So, you just pick a character, and you can find something on each and every one of them. And we've talked about this a number of times too. What did I say Stan Lee's job was? What's Stan Lee's brotherhood job? That's right, and Superman's real name is got the Hebrew L on it, right? Or the Jewish L, right? Krypton equals the hidden place, and a place laid out with crystals. Wasn't it crystalline? Kryptonite itself is a crystal thing. Jonathan G says the Nephilim is being created by human sacrifice sex rituals with the eating of the flesh, with the eating of hearts and having sex with the sacrificed body. Check out The Zone by Weekend and Over My Dead Body. Gnats. There will be gnats. Got to have some kind of window open. Or else I'm gonna melt. Whew. Okay. We got 92 folks in attendance, 53. Hit that like. I appreciate you. What y'all say about The Weeknd? He's terrible. His music feels and sounds so demonic. I'm about scared of it. I can't listen to it. Something else I can't do is I cannot mess with Triple X Tentacion's video. He's something deeper than just some guy that became famous from SoundCloud. He's a deep implant. He's a deep CIA Project Monarch implant. And his job was to help to turn the minds of the youth further away from God and further toward Lucifer. He talks about having conversations with Lucifer and the Baphomet and all that type of stuff. And he's who openly admits that he believes that, Lucifer got a bad rap. And me and Days know we're gonna do an expose on that boy. What happened to that boy? We're gonna do an expose on what happened to that boy. If anything happened to him, maybe he's on that island chilling. But I don't believe so because they want blood, and I believe that they got his young blood. I believe that they, we'll find out his affiliation to somebody big before this is all said and done. We're gonna find out he was somebody's nephew or great grandson or something before it's all said and done. But see, when you are biracial or when you claim biracial, you can be connected to one of them 13 families, and we wouldn't know it, right? So yes, just like Pac, that's right. Hear me out, Seven. Just like Tupac, it's it's too much of the same plot to be a coincidence. Okay, it's not a coincidence. It's the same plot. It's like the Devil and Max Devil. It's like the Devlin and Max Devil. It's like the Devil and Max Devlin, and Poor Little Devil. It's similar because it's based on the same thing. So Tupac and XXXTentacion is similar because it's based on the same thing. This is the way that they create legends. We talked about that. They showed and proved that in Heath Ledger's last film, where they had to get 3 or 4 different actors to fill in for Heath Ledger. Who does that, and why did they really do that? Because that was making it hermetic on top of hermetic. But in that film, when Johnny Depp gets his chance to play Heath Ledger's character, Johnny Depp explains, got him. Johnny Depp explains that, hey, to the lady whose soul he's about to suck dry, he explains to her that, hey, once you die, you become immortalized. As he shows pictures of Marilyn Monroe and James Dean and different ones, with little candles, little memorial candles, as they float down this little stream. And she's looking at them all, and she's like, "Wait a minute, James Dean, Marilyn Monroe, Elvis, they're all dead." And he's selling her the idea that she too can buy her way to be among them and be made immortal and be made as legends. That is one that we can watch, y'all. One time we could watch Dr. Parnassus, and we would get a kick out of watching Dr. Parnassus, y'all, and breaking it down, pausing to interject. So that will be on deck. That will be on deck. And we got a 30 people, we got a 30-person gap. We got 30 folks who they just not sure about us yet. I understand. We got 92 watching and 61 said that they liked what we've done. And again, this was just a lightweight jam tonight, just really an extension of yesterday's shows, which which we usually do 3 shows on Saturday night. But because I was tired and everybody else felt about the same way, and boy oh boy, we had to make the decision to come on back tonight. So since we did the majority of the show, tonight's shows would have only probably lasted an hour each. An hour to read. He set the captives free, and an hour to read Rick James Glow, and it really don't take an hour to read either one. So that's why I decided to just chat with y'all a little taste. Melody Child and Key, peace of blessings and peace of love to you. So yeah, so that's why I decided to just chat with y'all a little taste. Okay? And also to pin down folks who are going to come to our soiree and figure it out. The menu. Let's get to that. Okay. And then we're going to get out of here. The menu. And again, this menu is for our dinner, which will be served at 5. Sadie Mae said she really likes Sunday Night Fellowship. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm pleased to hear that. Um, but yes, we're gonna have a nice dinner. And I can tell you what it's going to consist of right quick. We'll go straight to their menu. His name, Andrew Cullen. Okay. And shout out to Brother Vincent B. from NYC, from our New York family, who has really done much to help us get this together, as well as Sister B, Alexander, Big Sister B. She put her craft skills and party throwing skills together. And let me see. Text information. This must be the one. And I thank all of the family members who have contributed to make sure that we're able to have all the things that we need to accommodate the family coming in from out of town, and also to help to get folks around while they're here. So again, I thank you. I thank you all who aided in that. I was just trying to find the menu here. Okay, one of these is the menu. Floor plans and menu. Okay, this is it. Okay, this is it. Okay. And prayers for Sister LB. And okay, let's look here. Okay. Lunch buffet, lunch box, salad, dinner. Okay, dinner buffet. We're going to have the executive dinner buffet. And the executive dinner buffet consists of, and yeah, next time we'll give folks more time to prep. But I mean, I go by how the Holy Spirit leads me. And he led me to say something when I said something. It's when I was able and things were coming together on my end. So, we understand. No hurries, no worries. Folks that could and would did, and folks who will do so next time. But the executive dinner buffet, and I'm like this. I'm this type of guy. I was the type of guy that would jump in my ride and drive to Atlanta to go visit my cousin, or drive to New York to go see my homeboy DJ, or whatever the case may be. Just because. Hey, you only live once, and I understand you got to make preparations for that type of thing. Now, nobody has to stay overnight. We're not having an overnight event. If you can arrive in Detroit in the morning, you can leave out of Detroit at night. You can leave out after 11, after the show is over. And, especially folks from Chicago, Ohio, Illinois, all these states right up under the glove, you show the dirty glove some love. And y'all come on through here. Quit hemming and hawing and complaining. I don't want to hear it. I done spent too much money and did too much. Doggone it. We're going to enjoy it. Look here. The executive. Mixed greens, cucumber, tomato, croutons, and ranch dressing. And I will have a room, you know, more than likely. I didn't went on ahead and just about decided I'm gonna have a room so folks can use it. I don't need it. I'm from Detroit. But I will have a room so folks can go ahead and use that, okay? You know? And so, and you know, you ain't got to pay for nothing. It don't cost nothing. And I'm gonna feed you. I'm gonna feed you. I'm gonna feed you like I owe you something. I'm gonna feed you in the daytime, and we're gonna be out there in the. Now, you know, let me tell y'all something about Detroit. They say it's gonna be 92 degrees. Well, they said 92. Then I looked again. They said 88. It was between 88 and 92 degrees in Detroit that day. You know, okay. But this is Detroit. It may be 77 degrees that day. Am I lying? Some of my Michiganders. So, and the next video will be the reading. Okay, the next video will be the reading. So yeah, you know, it could be 77 degrees. But now, if it's that hot and whatnot, if it's that hot, then we're gonna shake the spot and go back to the hotel. We have the Rolls Royce room, which is where we're going to be viewing the theater presentation for the night. That's going to be in the Rolls Royce room, and right next to the Rolls Royce room is the Silver Arrow room. That's where we're going to eat. That's where our dinner buffet is going to be set up, and probably a TV in each one. But the executive is again mixed greens, cucumber, tomato, croutons, and ranch dressing, macaroni salad with roasted corn, onion, and peppers, a mushroom salad with a lemon vinaigrette, oven roasted free range chicken, grass fed beef short ribs with red wine juice, red skin mashed potatoes, baked broccoli with yellow cheddar cheese, and seasonal free-formed pies, if you please. And for the barbecue, I'm going to barbecue. No, I ain't telling you. We're going to have barbecue fare. Of course, you know, I don't eat any pork. So we'll have turkey, beef, dogs, and burgers. And I want to grill a little salmon. I like salmon. I want to grill a little salmon. So I'm going to grill some salmon too. And of course, my vegetable portion of the menu, barbecuing. So that's what's going on. So y'all gonna be well fed. Well fed. Oh, the gift bags. And you're not gonna leave empty handed. And I noticed I got y'all the top one, the only one. No, wasn't none of them greater than that. That was the top one, the executive. Now, see how much I care about you? Now, let's look at these gifts. You want to know what you're getting, right? Okay. I don't know how y'all thought I don't know how you thought I did things, because I'm from Detroit. I don't know if you ever seen me dress and whatnot. You know, I don't like to have my goodness spoken ill of. And I'm from Detroit. We talk about people. We'll go eat your food at a barbecue and talk about your potato salad and how dry it was. I know how Detroit folk do. I used to do it too. Okay, let me see. We're looking for. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. Sit there and eat and laugh and look in your face and everything. And then on the way home, be talking about, man, he burnt all that meat. Yeah, man, somebody should have put somebody else on the grill. Yeah, right? Ain't no topic tonight. Last night was the topic. This is just hello. Some things I gotta let you know. So, and then after this, we're gonna do our readings, which is gonna take 30 minutes apiece, and you watch. Now, check this out. As of now, as of now, we have 8 DVDs. Check it out, y'all. Can you hear me? We got 8 DVDs, 8 books, 34 CDs, 2 flash drives full of information. That's truther must-haves, like they sold their souls for rock and roll and whatnot. That's why I killed that little guy at. Goodbye, little guy. But we got 8 DVDs, 8 books, 34 CDs, 2 flash drives, and 1 iPod to give away. 22 Gospel Grooves CDs to give away. 12 Joyful Jams CDs to give away. The Gospel Grooves CDs are the grooves that I play on the show. The Joyful Jams CDs are a variety of gospel songs, contemporary and old school. Right, that's right. And the shoes in the top 10s. Y'all want to see the top 10s? You think I'm lying? The top 10s cost me $100 something. So, they're snakeskin too. Did I say that? So you can walk on the serpent every day. Anyway, 2 Roots books, 2 Miss Franklin's books. Wait a minute. You supposed to be throwing something without me? You didn't think I was coming? I'm gonna get there first and eat up everything. But anyway, yes, we're gonna have 2 Respect Aretha Franklin books. No, she ain't gonna show up because ain't no pork. Ain't no pork that'll keep her away. It'd be like the Wicked Witch getting water thrown on her. Ah! Where's the grease? Ah! Anyway, so we're going to get 2 Respect Aretha Franklin books out to folks. We're going to give... Big Nephew Rondell say, here's the gifts and rubs hands together like Birdman. Okay, 2 Respect Aretha Franklin books, 1 Divided Soul Marvin Gaye book for your David Ritz enjoyment, 1 Glow Rick James book, Unity, 1 Pigs in the Parlor book. Is she from Detroit? Wow. Is Fat Meat Greasy? She's from right around the way. Don't you let her hear you say that. 1 Pigs in the Parlor book, 1 Whitney Houston book, 1 Question of Faith CD. 1 Question of Faith DVD. 1 Kendricks Brothers Films DVD. Are you familiar with the Kendricks Brothers Christian movies like Fireproof and Aegis and War Room? Okay, so to be one of those. The combination of all the films on DVD. 1 Roots DVD. 1 Different Strokes Season 1 DVD. 1 Different Strokes Fan Favorites DVD. With folks' favorite episodes all on 1. 3 Songwriter Secrets DVDs. That's right, the Songwriter Secret movie I made that they wouldn't let me play on here without editing it and turning things around backward and darkening videos and all that type of stuff. You get to see it the way it was meant to be seen, director's cut. So 3 Songwriter Secret DVDs, director's cut, will be given out. 1 Apple iPad Nano loaded with gospel songs. 1 flash drive with ebooks, such as The Transformation of America, Thanks for the Memories, Behold a Pale Horse, etc. and one flash drive with audiobooks, such as prayers that rout demons, prayers that bring healing, etc. Now, things we got one of, we're going to make folks battle royal for those. No, we will do Bible trivia and games for the thing, and creative ways to bingo out the singular things that we have for folks. Okay? And of course, I got 15 t-shirts in various colors, 7 male, excuse me, 14, 7 male, 7 female to give out. Brother Rubens is already set to the side, and Brother James Smith's is set to the side, and Sister LB's is set to the side. So that really leaves us with the 11. So I'll be giving away 11 shirts. And that will be the first, that will be to, first come, first serve basis. Could those SWS DVDs be copied? Certainly. You can burn these DVDs. Certainly. That's right. Needs of Love, Prayers That Rout Demons is a powerful book. I've got a video where I was reading from it on here. Right on. Now it's only 4X, though, Brother Ruben. That was the best we could do. They don't do nothing where I could send them a shirt or nothing like that. They were very corporate, but very, very helpful. They were really, really helpful. The people at Custom Ink. I will be dealing with Custom Ink from now on. And I will be bringing y'all some more shirts. Big Neats, Sister Minister Imani was creeping around, snooping and looking, eye hustling. And she happened to see some more of my designs. And she said, you better hurry up and get this one out here. Because she says both her and Ma Dukes is on it. So I got some hoodies that I'm going to bring out. And some Get Right or Get Left t-shirts that I'm going to bring out. But I wanted to get everything out the way first. And there she is. Peace and blessings, LB. Did you get my email? So yeah, so we're going to I'll be bringing out the Get Right or Get Left shirts and the Can I Pray for You hoodie. I don't know how she found it. But anyway, she found it. And she said, I better be about it. Because they will not be without it. They want that hoodie. So I'm going to help them out. And then on the side note, do anybody know anything about car parts? I've been looking for this part. Man, I can't find this one part. A 1996 Cadillac Sedan DeVille brake proportioning valve. Don't you know no good? Took it off that car, and I ain't took off in that car since. No, the brake line just crumbled like a twig. You should have seen it. It looked just like a twig. Hey, you have not because you asked not. I'm asking. Anybody that knows anything about car parts, know where you can get parts that old from? Because see, they don't make this no more. They stopped making it in '96. Well, Brother Ruben, if he can help, I need to find this. I done looked all over the internet and everything. I cannot find this piece. Without that, no brakes. I don't care. I was going to roll around in it anyway. But no good wouldn't even do it. He wouldn't even do it. 1994. Excuse me, 1994. Sedan DeVille. Yep. 1994 Sedan DeVille. You just call me when you get the part, and I put everything back together for you. He must have knew. Anyway, okay, so that's that. Let me see. They got me the flux. They didn't even make it no more. Job piece. This is what the brake line of a 1996 Sedan DeVille looked like after it's rusted and corroded. This is why I thought it was a twig. It just started falling apart after he got up under there to put the new brake rotors on there and whatnot. It just the brake line fell apart. And he was putting a new brake line in, but in order to put it in, got to have this part. Got to have that part for everything to go through. It's a little ugly square block of a part. The man at AutoZone told me, man, you're gonna have to go online to find that. So that's why I'm talking now. I'm online, ain't I? Anyway, okay, enough. I put together all that good stuff. I can't ask about a car part. Okay. So now, just about exhausted me. Wait a minute. Okay. All right, it's hot enough. It'll make me fuss too. Trying to get my vehicle together. Okay, now let's see if everything was the way I had wanted it to, I would go and swoop some people. I ain't scared of driving. I like to drive. But yep, that's what you get. That's what you get. Anyway, so yeah, anybody who can help me locate that part, please contact me at brothermentheo@gmail.com as soon as you can. As soon as you can. Riding the bus in the summertime is different than the wintertime. If you know what I'm saying. The sights and sounds and smells can overwhelm. Anyway. All right, so now, yes, contact me here. If you can help me out, or if you can tell me, well, you know what? You don't have to use that part no more. Now they use this part for that. Okay? Now, anyway. Yes, they do have evil water pumps, brake lines, transmission lines. I'll never do that again. Never, ever, ever. Okay. Well, yep. So that's what's happening. So, we're gonna go ahead and bow out of here, I believe. There's Big Nephew Drew from Chi-Town. Greetings and good afternoon. Excuse me, greetings and good after midnight to all the Unplug 'em fam, fresh off the gig and to the jam. Well, welcome. Now, like I was telling Brother Minister V, Ronell, Move and Wait, I want to make sure that the four Windy City crew brethren are super duper straight. And so I want us to get together tomorrow for like a conference call or something like that. So what I would like for each one of y'all to do, if you're able to do so and within the sound of my voice, because I may have some numbers, some I don't. I lost a lot of contacts, lost my old phone when I had your number, V. Last time I had it anyway. I don't have that phone no more. But please email me here so I can call y'all. Okay? So we can make sure you get here. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to make sure you get here. Okay? So we got to make sure the Windy City crew gets here. I can't wait to see who gonna mosey in there, and then who gonna be hemming and hawing. You can't make a 1-day trip Your strength is little. Be like the ant, thou sluggard, and get your brother Mentheo with a lowercase b. Here it is right here for all to see. 4 hours away, Chicago. 9 hours away, New York. Cincinnati, where you at? Calling you out. Cleveland, where y'all at? Calling you out. All y'all cities supposed to act like you down with Detroit when they kicking us and giving us lead water. Now you come on up here when we eating good and having a good time and fellowshipping in the name of the Lord. Oh, a pick apart. Yeah. It's places like that. Yeah, there are places like that. But see, I gathered, how come he didn't just use mine if that's the case? So another car, same age, is gonna be in just as bad a shape. And I love folks who hear me out. So what's gonna happen when this show goes off, y'all? What else I was doing here? I know everybody didn't hear it. RockAuto.com claims they got everything. I looked them up. They didn't have it. Right. After this, we're going to read. And the reading is only going to take a short amount of time. So I was just trying to kill some time, let y'all spend some time talking to each other. But if y'all ready to go, I'm ready to go. Let's go. You ready for the reading now? What y'all want to do? We ready. Say Chris Crutchfield. Okay, all right. Well, hey, let's do it. Let's do it. I thought y'all wanted to linger around, whatnot. Okay, well, now, come on. Well, now, I appreciate you coming in and showing love, Melody's child. You could have came to the performance, and played a song and showed us love that way. But okay, we'll wait on you. We'll wait on you to get ready. Taking your sweet time. Anyway. All right. So yeah. Right on. Ready like hot spaghetti. Okay, so let's get on out of here. Let's play a tune and hit the wind. Right? This is about how I feel tonight. As hot as I am, I want to holler about like this man. I mean, I'm hot.
Yeah.
Human torch status.
Yeah.
More John Blaze than you.
Yeah.
More John Blaze. Mercy. A lot of buffering, says Judge Lynn. Wait a minute. That's right. No AC. No AC here. No AC where I'm recording. No. And got to keep the windows closed or the gnats is going to keep flying on my screen. And I don't want y'all to think it's going to be gnats flying around when I'm cooking and preparing food. Okay? I got a different spot for that. I'm not going to use Detroit water to prepare any food. Okay? I use bottled spring water. I cook with spring water. Okay? Don't y'all think you're going to get no lead water hot dogs. You heard of hot water cornbread. You don't want no lead water cornbread. And I'm not going to serve you none neither. Don't make me get incensed and offended like that lady from Good Times when she brought over her meatloaf. Now you know I wouldn't get that to my friends. Lead water, yes, sometimes I drink it. Yes, I do. That's right. Sometimes I drink lead water. But I wouldn't give it to my friends. Oh boy. When JJ and them thought the meatloaf was dog food, that's how Melody's child to be. She'd be side-eyeing everything, looking at it, lifting the lids off, looking up under there with one eye, with her mouth twisted to the side. I don't know about that. These baked beans or pork and beans, or what is these? Anyway, y'all don't remember that Good Times episode? Well, that just totally messed up the joke. All right, anyway, I'm out of here. So I wouldn't do that to my friends. They're gonna make me offended. If you ever seen corned beef casserole, it look and smell like dog food. Corned beef casserole. Really? Yeah. Remind me to stay away from that. Thank you. Thanks for the heads up. Hey, Dad, I'm 9 now. You ain't under mine now. I ain't there. So you ain't legit. The kid is not my son. No. Anyway. All right. I got to get out of here. All right. Ain't no buffering now, right? I'm out of here. That's right. Come back for the readings. And I hope you can make it to our 7/7 feedings. All right, if you don't know, come on back for the readings. He came to set the captives free and glow.
When the sinner man go to the racetrack, he find you there gambling too. Christian man, what have you left for the sinner man to do? Woo! Christian man, what have you left for the sinner man to do? When the sinner man go to the dance hall, he see you there jumping too. You say you need to take a drink after a hard day's work. You said it'll be alright just as long as you don't drink too much. Christian man, what have you left for the sinner man to do? When the sinner man go to the nightclub, he see you there drinking too. In church on Sunday morning, you sing as loud as you can. When the preacher began his sermon, you show yes, I've been born again. The Christian man, what have you left for the sinner man to do? When the sinner man reaches destination, I wonder will you be there too?
Last song. And a message you should heed. Get involved.
Sister and brother, and all of my friends, let's come together and pray again. The sign of Jesus fall in my room. I believe he's coming. He'll be here soon. I'm gonna praise him. Yeah, I'm gonna praise the Lord God. I got involved with the Father. I got involved with the Son. I'm gonna stay involved with the Holy Spirit. It's all in one. Yes, it is. Now, mother and father can't save our soul. Almighty God, who has control. He heals the sick and he raised the dead. You can read your Bible and read what it said. Come on, praise God. Yeah, I'm gonna praise the Lord God. One day I got involved with the Father. I got involved with the Son. I'm gonna stay involved with the Holy Spirit. It's all in one now. Yes, it is. My Jesus Christ, the Lord, is in charge. Yes, he is. Well, he is the one to call. He loves us all. God loves us all. Will shed his blood. My Jesus never said one word. I'm staying involved with the Father. I'm gonna stay involved with the Son. You better get involved with the Holy Spirit. It's all in one. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is.
And prayers for our sister Spring Rain, who's been absent a couple of shows. And prayers for Sister Minister Rebecca. And also, we ask for your continued prayers for our sister Nicole, who we prayed deliverance prayers for during our Wednesday show. Thank you. Please do return. We'll be right back.